Let's look at this engine. It's another day working on the 1956 Chevy in the garage here at Freeman's Garage, and today I'm going to reveal to you the engine, the power plant that is slated to go into this 1956 Chevrolet. And no, it is not a blown alcohol big block. I'm sorry, it just wasn't in the budget. But first we got to knock out a few small but important little tasks that got to get done on this car. The first thing we got to do is finally get these rear brake drums cleaned up and painted so that they can actually go back on the car. Been trying to get that done for forever. Of course, we got to find the other brake drum. We got the one you saw me pick up, but where's the second one? Now that's a mystery. Oh boy, that was a strong start to this video, and oh, there it is. I was gonna say, strong start that quickly came to a screeching halt, but nope, we're still off to the races. And that's the engine for a 56 Chevy right there, by the way. In a few minutes, we'll be ripping that 99-cent poncho off. We're gonna let the brake drums soak in the degreaser inside our parts washer. But of course, first I have to move everything that's piled up on top of the parts washer, because, you know, if you have a parts washer, make sure you pile as much stuff on top of it as you can, so that way when you need to use it, you can't use it. There we go. Now we have a trip hazard. I knew we were missing something. You know, I was actually thinking about replacing the degreaser in here because it's kind of getting towards the end of its service life. But later in the video, when I tell you how much I spent on just a few nuts and bolts at the hardware store, you'll understand why I'm stretching this degreaser out a little bit further. Let's put this right here. I'll get this out of the way. And no, don't worry, I'm not going to be going on a big rant about how the price of everything is so high these days and the world's going to HE double hockey sticks like a snowball headed for HE double hockey sticks. That was dumb. We're just having fun here. We're just having a good time, you know? No reason to be stressing out here. Come to Freeman's Garage to not stress. We'll let those brake drums soak for a bit and then we'll get back to them and clean them up, paint them up, put them on the car. But for right now, we gotta go underneath the car. So in a previous video, when we were working on this car and doing some suspension work, there was a nut that we dropped inside the frame rail, and that was a while ago, and it's time to finally get it out now before we forget that it even exists. Oh, I didn't bring my magnet on a stick down here with us. Let's go grab that real quick. I think I said I was going to do this a long time ago, but I finally need to do it. I'm going to buy just a ton. I'm going to buy a metric ton of those magnets on a stick, and I'm just going to stick them all over the place. Every 3 feet here at Freeman's Garage, there's going to be a magnet on a stick. So that way when I need one, I don't have to look for it. Oh, there's one. We'll grab this and we'll be on our way to success. I think I pulled up when I should have pulled down. Oh, wow. Get ready to tear me into pieces. The nut was sitting right here. I did all that for nothing. Short-term memory loss will blow me down. You know, I don't know why I do what I do, when I do what I do, when I do what I do. But let's take this extension, put this 3/4 inch socket on it, and then we're gonna put the nut in here because we gotta put this through the frame rail, and so that we can get the nut on that leaf spring bolt. But we're not gonna tighten it down. We're leaving all our suspension stuff loose all the suspension stuff that we took apart and cleaned up and whatnot, or refurbished. We're gonna leave all that loose until the day comes where we drop the car on the ground, and then that way everything can settle and then we can tighten stuff down. But what we're gonna do here is this nut, see it drops all the way down in there. So it's probably gonna give us trouble. So we're gonna take this socket here. Make sure it's not metric, okay? It's gotta be American. Stick that in there just to take up some gap or some space. There we go. That's probably, possibly, maybe, kind of, sort of, almost might save us a couple minutes of struggling here. Put my arm around here. But, you know, showing you the whole socket and nut thing that we just did, you know, I just showed you here, that's, you know, that's not me just trying to, you know, show off how smart I am, but NASA, if you're hiring, we'll touch up that nut and bolt with some paint, but not right now. I want to wait until we do the, you know, the whole suspension settle thing and tighten everything up. Then we'll do that. We'll put this magnet on a stick right there. I bet I'll be looking for it later. Now we're going to put these brake lines on the car, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Real quick, I'm going to get this stuff off the trunk lid. That way we can open the trunk up and get some more light into our area where we're going to be working right now. Whoa! Hold the rotary telephone. We got to back up here because I just remembered that the nut that we dropped inside the frame rail is over here on the passenger side. It wasn't the driver's side. So I got all this stuff back out. Let's get this nut out and then we'll continue on what we're doing with the brake line and whatnot. Oh, by the way, does this car just not look awesome or what? I kind of just want to stare at it all day. I think I got it. There you go. Magnet on a stick saves the day once again. It feels good to be American. So now about these brake lines. We have a longer one and a shorter one here. They go across the rear axle. So they plug into a wheel cylinder on each end. And right about there is where the short and the long line connect together at a union, a brass union, which is right here. And this has not been cleaned out on the inside or cleaned up at all on the outside yet. So we're going to do that right now real quick and make it all shiny and pretty. And the reason why we're putting the brake lines on right now is because I don't want them laying around the garage to get stepped on or bent. Remember these lines here, these steel lines that we're going to set in place on the rear axle and the rest of the brake lines on this car, we built every single hard line on this car by hand. We did all the measuring, we did all the bends, everything from scratch, brand new by hand. So we don't want any of it just floating around to get damaged. Just one more quick thing I want to say about the brake lines is that when we put these lines here on our axle, those can stay on for good. But all these brake lines and the one that runs alongside the frame rail all the way to the back of the car, we're going to remove those lines off of the frame when we take the body off the frame. We're going to separate the body of the car from the frame of the car when we put a brand new floor pan inside this body. And we're going to finish up all our painting on the frame, and that's why those brake lines will come off. After all the frame painting and anything else we decide to do with the frame is all done, the brake lines will go back on, and then the body of the car will go back on after it's got a new floor in it. And then that's when we can put brake fluid into our brake system and bleed all the air out. If we had more space here at Freeman's garage or less projects, we'd be doing our processes and order of doing things would be a bit different, but it is what it is. So what are we gonna do, cry about it? We're gonna make this look brand new. An original 1956 General Motors factory part. Rusty and crusty. It's gonna look brand new when we're done with it. Dang, son! Possum on a gum bush. Now that is awesome. Maybe not like new, but pretty gosh darn close. We could get it even better, but the sharp edges were just shredding our little disc. Making something this old look this nice. Now that's funner than treeing a coon. And then I drop it. It's all over. Pack it in. Make sure there's no dirt or debris inside of them. You could use these for drinking straws. I'm sure it would add a very nice flavor to your beverage of choice. I'm gonna knock those cut U-bolt pieces out of the way. That's from a previous video where we put new U-bolts on back here. Let's also get these shocks out of the way. These are just in here from when we did our NOS new old stock parts video. That's a hip twister. I have to keep reminding myself to not slice myself like into a piece of deli meat on this sharp edge here. You know what song just started playing in my head? Midnight Confession. Now the shorter line here, I noticed that it needs a little bit of filing action, so knocked it out real quick. We want to make sure that, you know, these lines aren't going to leak, right? Which is funny because when we eventually put brake fluid in this system, we're going to find out if all this hard work even paid off. For all we know, all these double flares that we made are junk. But let's just stay positive. Here at Freeman's Garage, we're all about positive Pauls, not toxic Teds. Alright, that should only leak a little bit. Okay, I'm trying to remember which way our bends go. Well, I think this end's gonna have to go to the union, right? The union gap. Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. What a great group. Well, you got a wiring harness hanging in your face. No wonder you can't see. Okay, so let's thread this in. Let's not, let's not drag this out here. It takes just a couple seconds to do this. Let's not jibber jabber and make it take an hour. Although there's nothing wrong with a little bit of jibber jabber. But the thing is, we still gotta scrub up and paint those brake drums. That's gonna take a bit, so let's get moving here. Well, here's what's gonna slow us down. Should the D be on the bottom or on the top? Oh man. Now I could deal with that all day, but we'll just put the D on the top because it looks cooler and we're not tightening everything up yet. Or just actually, let's not even slide that in there yet. Let's get our short line on. And we're going to want to go this end into the wheel cylinder. like so. We're keeping it simple here, you know? Just keeping it simple. If I could get this threaded in. There we go. Let's try to get through a day without cross-threading, okay? Alright, now we connect the two. Now it's a union. Now it is a union. There we go. Now let's slide that in there. It's 1956 all over again. There we go. Well, except for, you'll be reminded that it's not 1956 in a minute here when I reveal the price of those bolts I bought. Well, we got to put a clip, a metal clip, to hold that union in place, and we have a factory one right here from 1956. And as you can see, it is rusty. So let's clean this up lickety split, because let's be honest, we're all here for the engine reveal. Well, that's going to dry for a minute, so we got a couple things going on. That clip is drying, and as soon as that's done, we can snap them in place, tighten up those brake lines. We got to scrub up and throw some paint on those brake drums and then put them on the car. Most importantly, we need to take a look at that new engine. But right now, how about these expensive nuts and bolts? This isn't a rant or a complaint. It's just kind of a what the heck is going on kind of a thing. So I picked up this hardware from the hardware store. This is to replace our missing axle bearing retainer hardware. If you recall the video where we installed brand new axle bearings on our rear axle shafts here on this car, you know that there is a axle bearing retainer plate, one on each side of the car, and each plate has 4 bolts, 4 nuts, and 4 lock washers. And our car is missing a total of 3 bolts. So that's why I bought these here from the hardware store. And I got 4 just for an extra. I always, usually when I get hardware, I just get a little bit extra just in case, or so you have one around for the next time, right? Now this is one of our factory axle bearing retainer plate bolts. This is what they look like, the 1956 factory ones. Now you don't see how there's this knurling and then they're square like that. We don't need that on all of them. I mean, it's how it was engineered or how it was designed, but I mean, come on. Really? I think we're going to be good. So I grabbed some grade 8 as well. So I don't see any reason why these aren't going to work in place of these, but remember we have all these except for just 3. So we just need to install these, and these are the same size. They're 5/16 with the 24 thread pitch. They're just a smidgen longer, which is okay. That's gonna work great. You want to know what I paid for this? How much this cost? For this right here, I paid $11.30. You know, $1.50 bolts, 20-cent gasoline, and 30-cent bread, a man can get mighty desperate. Alright, let's see how our new 5/16 bolt fits. Well, we know it's going to fit in the hole because it's a 5/16. The length should be just fine, but how's the head going to fit on this retainer plate? Oh, looks like it fits just perfect, just fine. Well, I'm glad this is tightening up nice and proper, because if the axle bearing retainer was bending as we're tightening this, then that would tell us that our axle shaft, we probably didn't install it all the way in, you know. So that's good. Alright, that's a wrap there. I'm sure there's a factory torque spec, but this is one of those things where I say, put it on nice and tight, but just don't gorilla it on, you know what I mean? So we got 2 factory bolts and 2 of the new bolts on this side. And on the passenger side, we're only going to put 1 new bolt in because we got 3 factory bolts over there. So let's go do that side. Alright. There we go. We got that in. That's good. Alright, now let's knock out those drums. Let's get that clip in for that union. And then let's pull that 99-cent poncho off the engine. Oh, I didn't even tell you, did I? If you've been watching all these 56 Chevy project videos in order, then you might be wondering what happened after the previous video. In a nutshell, we had a guy digging around for some factory 1956 Chevy wheels for us for this car, and he had found one, but we were waiting for him to call us back about more, and the video ended without hearing back from him. Well, here we are a week later, and I still haven't heard back from him, but I'm sure he's working on it. Just give him some time. But in the meantime, we got to soldier on, right? We got to keep moving. So that's why we're doing this right now. Oh, every single project video in this 56 Chevy is conveniently packed into one playlist, and it's in the video description. All you gotta do is, well, after you finish watching this video, just click on it, and boom, there's all the videos. And I hate saying boom. I gotta stop saying boom. This one wasn't very greasy, but it does need some sanding on the inside, so I'm going to let the mega greasy one sit in here and soak a little bit longer. I don't want to get all the grease from that one on to this one, so we will finish up this one. We'll get a first coat of paint on it, and then we'll come back to the mega greasy one. It's mega greasy. I'm not so sure that sanding this brake drum is going to work out. I guess I better explain my thought process here real quick, because otherwise this isn't going to make any sense. There are 2 issues with this brake drum. The first challenge is that the lining on the inside of the brake drum is rusty. Now that lining is what makes contact with our brake shoe, because our brakes go like this, and the shoes, they push out against our brake drum here on the inside, and it creates friction and slows us down. Now you want a nice, smooth finish, and a million times I have sanded brake drums down by hand, and they work out just fine on the car. Ideally, you would want to put the brake drum on a lathe and turn it so that you can get a very nice machined, smooth finish. But that's not what we're doing here. We're sanding. But the sanding, it's, yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to do it by hand. Yeah, well, it might take hours and hours and hours. So we're going to throw it in the blast cabinet, and we're going to blast just the lining on the inside here, and then we'll finish it up by hand. We'll see how that works. Alright, so now, challenge number 2. Or did I say challenge, or did I say issue or problem? I don't remember. Well, whatever I said. Challenge number 2 is that this brake drum is most likely beyond its service life. You can only lathe these things or machine them down to, you know, there's a minimum thickness that you can bring them down to. Now this one doesn't have a minimum thickness stamped on it, and I'm not sure if there is a factory specification from 1956 out there for this brake drum, but I don't care about that. And I'll tell you why. I push my luck a lot with old parts like this. Not only do I just want to reuse the original stuff, but I like to see how far it can take us. And if the worst possible thing that can happen to this brake drum happens, we're not going to go careening off out of control into the Royal Gorge. So this brake drum should probably go on a lathe or possibly even be replaced, but we're not doing that. This is an experiment to show how far you can take things, because not everybody has a ton of money. I've been jumping back and forth between the drum inside the blast cabinet and the one in the parts washer, which is right here. My blast cabinet works great, but my compressor can't quite keep up, so I would blast the drum in here for a bit and then scrub on this and go back and forth. And man, I can't even tell you how long it took to get all the old oil and grease off this brake drum. I mean, I don't even want to... No, I'd be embarrassed to tell you. It's in a lot better shape than the one that we put in the blast cabinet, which, let's pull this out right now and take a look at it. And I know, I'll tell you right now, I could have done a little bit or an even better job on blasting the lining, but you know, I mentioned the compressor has a hard time keeping up. So we could get that down, you know, to a uniform, you know, dull gray color, but I mean, we'd be here all day. That's pretty gosh darn good though. Yeah. You've seen me go pretty extreme before on cleaning and painting brake drums, taking them down to bare metal and whatnot, but not this time. We're not going to Concours d'Elegance. Wait, did I say that right? I think that's the first time I've ever said that right. Alright, let's throw this clip on that brake union, and we'll tighten up these lines, and by the time we're done doing that, the brake drum should be dry enough to come in and go on the car. And then we look at that engine, and I just realized that it's kind of buried, so I guess it's not going to be a very in-depth look, but in we go. It's still going to be cool though, man. It's going to be awesome. Ah! I just rammed my head right into that corner. Good thing I'm wearing a ball cap. I think I've done that before in a video. I think this is the only thing we have down here with us to pound this clip into place, which means that we might just chip our new paint off. Gosh darn it, why do I do that? Alright, well you're gonna have to hang out on top of the third member while I try to get this in without slicing my head off. Okay, here we go. Nice tight fit. Oh, you know, that's why you use high quality spray paint. Oh, actually it is chipping off. Well, we can just touch that up. Alright. I gotta be careful with that. If I wasn't wearing this hat, I'd be bleeding all over the place. You know the term dilly-dally? That's what's going on here right now. We gotta cut that out. I'm just really trying to not I almost said overheat. Well, I don't want to overheat anything either, but I don't want to over tighten anything. We don't want to chance ruining our lines and fittings. Last one over here on the driver's side. Oops. Tighten this up. As soon as this is tight, we'll put those brake drums on. Well, actually, hold on. We gotta do one more thing. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna go get a rubber mallet. You know, I've got no problem with touching things up with a paint can, right? But do we need to create more work than necessary? Don't answer that. Man, I gotta say, that looks pretty snazzy. Alright, let's grab those brake drums and then look at that engine. I bet you never thought... Oh, I was about to say something profound, and then I realized that I missed a spot. Back to the paint booth. I bet you never thought you could get this excited over a brake drum. I mean, you are excited, right? I mean, this painting a brake drum is exciting, right? Is this exciting? It is, isn't it? Oh, what the heck? What? The brake drum won't go on all the way. I guess however many videos ago it was when we were reshaping and trying to bend this backing plate into, you know, making it flat. I guess we didn't do a very good job. But, you know, we got a rubber mallet and a monkey wrench right here, so why don't we just go ahead and fix it? Kids, do not try this at home. All we gotta do is just bend this up just enough for the edge of the brake drum to slide underneath it. All we gotta do is bend this backing plate. All we gotta do is just bend this. Yeah, it doesn't have to fit properly, just bend it. Boy, this is really taking the wind out of the sail here. We have made some progress. We're pretty close to actually having this bent up enough. However, this will never be straight again. Bent a crescent wrench. The brake drum just has to be able to slip underneath that edge. Now this tool here was made in Minnesota about 50, 60 years ago. This is the boy that would get it done. But the challenge is, is I haven't been able to get enough grip in here. Or maybe I do now. I just gotta be careful not to put this through the whole belly, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, here we go. Just gotta be careful not to put that through the whole midsection. Oh, that's right there. The thing is, metal has a memory, so you gotta go a little bit further than you actually need, you know? Oh, we are in. It's just tight. Nice. So, yeah, we could actually hammer the brake drum on, but we're not gonna do that. Let's use our made in Minnesota tool here to go a little bit further. Boy, it's right there. Well, that's in a little bit more. Yeah, see, you know, that's the thing, we're in. We just need some clearance. There's not much more to grab onto here because we're, you know, we bent it far enough. Would it be weird if wind beneath my wings just started playing in the old domage? If it would be weird, then no, I didn't hear it just start playing. Just bent that. I've had this thing for probably 10 years. Let's bend everything. Let's bend everything we can find. There you go. Straight again. I'll tell you what. I'll let you know when I get it on. How's that sound? There. I felt like giving up after about an hour, but did the men on Iwo Jima give up? You know, a guy could always just write a check and go pick up the car when it's done. No one is giving you brake drum action like Freeman's garage. There's no point in going anywhere else for brake drum action. All the brake drum action is right here. See, that's how it's supposed to go. Wait a second, are we on all the way? Yeah, it's just all the paint and everything on here. Oh, you know what a guy needs to do? A guy needs to just put wheels and tires on this thing, because you know, everything's not going to be perfect because this is all really old stuff, right? Now, of course, there's limitations to that. But basically what I'm saying is we need to just bolt wheels and tires on this thing and just suck everything together and go drive it. You know, quit being a baby. Anyways, that's all good. We just need to bolt wheels and tires on. Let's look at this engine. You know what song is playing in my head now? Jukebox Hero. Before I reveal the engine, I just need to get something out there. Be prepared to be smart choice. Or to be, what? No, what is he thinking? Be prepared to be, this guy's broke. But keep in mind, the engine that's going to be in this car is just like the wheels and tires that we're going to put on the car very soon here, because we can switch anything in the future. I'm not building anything in a way where we're doing something once and it's done once and then we don't touch it. That's not how I'm doing it. There's no rules, we can change anything. But that being said, because of the extreme budget that we're on, we're rebuilding this 250 straight six. And we're gonna put it in this car. We're just gonna, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We got a V8 right here. It's just nothing spectacular. Oh no, intake manifold bolts. I forgot about those. There it is. It is a Chevy 250, bone stock as far as I know, and it came out of a 1986 Chevy K10 pickup truck, which means a half-ton four-wheel drive, and it was a short bed. I placed a trash bag underneath the intake manifold because I transported this from the North Dakota location all the way down here to the Texas location, and it was in the back of a pickup truck. So this is just to keep water out in case it got rained on. I also had it wrapped in a couple trash bags too. So yeah, it's just as far as I know, it's a stock 350. Here's a look at the engine from the side. Just a basic old Chevy 350. The person I got this engine from, I've known for, about 20 years, I would say. And if he says that it will run, then it will run. He said that he would take the heads off if it were him and do head gaskets and check compression, but he said it should run, so I took his word on it. But there is a little bit of an interesting story with that engine that I will share with you another time. There's other engines I would like to put in this car. I'd love to put in a 283 or a 265. That can happen at any time. We'll change things around with this car whenever we want. It's just the budget has to allow, and that engine was just the right engine, right place, right time. We got it. You know what's neat is if you were hoping for a different engine and you're not the most thrilled about that 350, well, believe me, trust me, once we put that V8 in this 56 Chevy and we bolt a set of headers to it and we fire that thing up for the first time, you're gonna forget all about numbers. And now I'm sending you to one of the videos on the screen. I appreciate you liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, all that stuff. I'm gonna go find those intake manifold bolts.